These are the only two men in the entire country
and no one else
that dared to touch this.
No other law enforcement agency even offered to help them.
And it is likely, and I say likely only because I have to, likely it is because of the work that these two men did that we have seen the things come out this week that we have, like Representative Nunes saying, we now know that Trump and his team were being surveilled.
Because Zullo and Arpaio knew it for years.
That's right.
And,
That's right.
And yeah. Go ahead.
Well, and I was just going to say, and a lot of our audience will know what I'm getting ready to say, but a lot won't. Mike Zullo and Jerome Corsi last Sunday and Monday combined, I don't know, spent a couple of hours or more on radio.
On the Alex Jones show.
On the Alex Jones show on InfoWars. That's where Jerome Corsi works now. Revealing what we couldn't say for so long here.
And there's still a whole lot they haven't revealed.
This is just, minuscule.
Yeah.
But it's so important. But revealing the depth of the spying, IP addresses, telephone numbers,
addresses that no one else had, privacy.
I'm talking Trump's personal cell phone numbers,
right,
personal apartment numbers to Mar-a-Lago.
Right.
Michael Savage. Jerome Corsi went on the Michael Savage show
because
and told
Michael Savage had been spied on.
He sent Michael Savage an email live on air and then called in and told him, he says, I have phone numbers for you, and verified them, not on air, of course.
Right.
And Savage says, yeah, those are my phone numbers. That's my address.
But nobody else knows that.
Nobody else knew about. And Corsi says, I have them on NSA paperwork right here. They've been spying on you.
Right.
Thank you, Mike Zullo and Sheriff Arpaio, for having the guts to be the only two law enforcement officers in the country willing to look into this.
In the world.
And think about this.
In the world.
If Mike Zullo, under the direction of Joe Arpaio, America's sheriff, had not done what their constituents
this
wanted
wouldn't be going on
and
this
investigated the birth certificate, Mike Zullo would never have gotten this information about the NSA and the depth of the spying, and would never have been able to go on national radio this week with Jerome Corsi and say, here it is, and show the documents. They were showing them, and to prove this, which then, in my opinion, forces Nunes to come forward.
Well, think about it. Take a breath right there and think about it. Isn't it coincidental? I've been spied on. The media and the left and Congress. No, you're not. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Zullo goes on the radio. Corsi goes on the radio. They release documents and release information. The very next week, everybody in Washington changes their tune. And now we're getting ready to have hearings, and along comes Manafort, and along comes Roger Stone, and along comes Larry Klayman with Dennis Montgomery, and along comes the two guys, NSA guys, we're going to talk about this in a moment, in Washington, who were connected with building the software. Along, they come now to radio and to congressional hearings, and now everybody's saying, well, maybe he was spied on. What's the chances that as soon as Zullo opens his mouth and reveals some of this stuff, all of a sudden the narrative changes?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike Zullo.
No, that's exactly right. That is exactly right. And again, more than likely, at least here's what my mind sees. And I know my mind's a little different, but here's what my mind sees.
Just a little bit.
If Mike Zullo, never under the direction of Joe Arpaio, never investigates the birth certificate. Never finds out, goes down this rabbit hole where he's on this radio show saying, people, there are things that are deep and dark.
And nasty.
I mean, you and I are on here saying, listen, pray for Mike Zullo. Right. He is in a spiritual battle.
Right.
If he never does that, then we never uncover this, then he and Jerome Corsi are never allowed, that never have the information to go on radio, all over media, and say, we have the IP addresses, we have telephone numbers, we have addresses.
And put copies of the documents on the internet.
Then, more than likely, Nunes never has the guts to come out and say, oh, it's real, and here's the evidence.
And more than likely, Trump would have never tweeted out and said, I've been spied on, because he probably would know that he wouldn't have the backing.
Because one thing we figured out about Trump, and there's going to be people that disagree with this, but prove me wrong, feel free. A lot of people, well, he just shoots off at the mouth. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Name me one major thing that he has come out that sounded like lunacy when he put it out that he hasn't been proven right on. Name me one thing.
I know, even with this.
I can't think of one single thing.
Even with this tweet about, it looks like Obama and his folks been spying on me, and everybody called him a liar, 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 liar.
Yeah.
And now we have Nunes coming out and saying, well, well, he's on to something. So now the narrative has changed. Now we have the House Intel Committee and Nunes, and saying to the media, of course, the media is all embarrassed. They've got egg all over the face. So they're trying to put a bow on a pig and make it into something nice. And, and now the talking points are that, okay, so Nunes says there's something been going on. There's been some intel on Trump. What's the word I'm looking for? Not spying. Spying. Surveillance. Yeah, there's the intel. Yeah. But they're saying, but this doesn't vindicate. Well, excuse me. Yes, it does, because the tweet said, I've been being wiretapped. Quotation marks, meaning that he knew that there's no such thing as wiretapping, but surveillance. Now, again, we're going to have to get down to the brass tack of, did Obama order it and know it and do it? Because Trump said in his tweet, by Obama. Okay. But, see, you and I know stuff that we can't say. But I can say this. Now, all of a sudden, just this week, after Mike Zullo goes on Alex Jones, that same day, Michael Savage, who finds out his name was in that intel list, he goes wild. After Jerome Corsi goes on Michael Savage, who's with Alex Jones now and was on the air with Mike Zullo, the day after, you have people starting to let it leak. Well, maybe there's something. And then Nunes comes out a couple days after and says, it does look like. Now Paul Manafort says, I need to talk to y'all. Now Roger Stone comes forward today. I need to talk to y'all.
Yeah.
Now Dennis Montgomery, who's the whistleblower who went to Sheriff Arpaio when Mike Zullo and Sheriff Arpaio were doing the birth certificate investigation, went to them and says, I need to whistleblow on the CIA.
Yeah.
We're collecting information. I helped with the software. We've been hammering into people's personal lives for years. And here's the list. And they turned over 600 million pages of information. And now Mike Zullo has been careful to say this, and I'm going to be careful to say it. They haven't been able to right now to prove that those documents that Dennis turned over are actual NSA documents.
Yeah, because the NSA won't look at them.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
But here's the case. Here's the deal. Nobody has come out and said,
oh, no, they're fake.
Those are fake.
Yeah.
And we can prove they're fake. And see, that's important, folks.
Yeah.
So Mike Zullo's careful to say, I'm not saying to you that these documents we have, he said, but I am saying to you these documents contain names, phone numbers, addresses, and bank account numbers, and on and on and on. And most of it was stuff like phone numbers and addresses that were hidden, secret stuff that nobody knew. But here they are. How did Dennis Montgomery get this? How? And he worked for the CIA and the FBI. How did he get this? Where 600 million pages of this stuff from people all over the nation, including Trump, including Michael Savage, including Alex Jones, and many other, and because Mike Zullo hasn't said them yet.
Yeah.
Where did he get this stuff?
Yeah.
And the NSA hadn't denied it.
He didn't make them up out of thin air.
And it just so happens that when Zullo releases this, Nunes comes forward and says, there might be something to this.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I'm just convinced that without what Mike Zullo and Jerome Corsi did last weekend and then Monday, that Nunes never has the guts to come forward.
No,
now,
it's too,
I can't prove it, but
Yeah.
coincidence.
So, Mike Zullo, Sheriff Arpaio, if you guys are listening,
thank you.
Patriots, God bless you. Thank you. Not another lawman had the guts in this nation to take up the investigation, and not another lawman. You got all these sheriffs on TV talking about how great they are. Not one of them offered Sheriff Arpaio or Mike Zullo any help in this investigation. Most of them stayed away from it because it was too much of a political hot button. Well, of course it is. That's how the communists work. Yeah. They make something a hot button. They build websites against you. They marginalize you. They call you all kind of names so that you'll leave it alone.
Yeah.
That you'll back away. You've gone down a deep, dark alley. And that's what Mike Zullo said. We've gone down a deep, dark alley, and we found some nasty, nasty stuff.
And let's just be very clear on this. Mr. President, Mr. Trump, this garbage of Sheriff Arpaio being drugged through the court system. And I mean, listen, folks, he could potentially face jail time.
He could. Mr. Trump,
it's garbage.
Step
Make
in,
this go
vindicate
away.
the guy. Make it go
in
away.
In no way, shape, or form has what has happened to Sheriff Arpaio is it even close to being legal.
Right.
In any aspect of the laws of our country.
Right.
Not even close. So it was just, Mr. President,
Yeah.
protect this man.
Judge Murray Snow,
Yeah.
out in Arizona.
Yeah, put him in jail.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
man, he's the one that dropped the dime on Dennis Montgomery in open. Nobody knew except for Sheriff Arpaio and Mike Zullo
Yeah.
about Dennis Montgomery until Judge Murray Snow dropped the dime on him in open federal court, and it wasn't even related.
Use their own
to the
laws
case
against
they
him.
had.
Use the NDAA, but disappear him in the middle of the night, never to be seen again.
Well,
goodbye,
but
Judge
here's
Snow.
the thing.
I mean,
Here's in your opinion, right?
Yeah, in my
Here's
opinion, yeah.
But here's the thing, folks. Here's the thing, folks. Please, just know, watch the news.
yeah.
And as this stuff unfolds, and as it comes to the forefront, that they have been surveilling Donald Trump. Remember that Mike Zullo and Sheriff Arpaio had at least something to do with this.
That's right.
I'm not saying they've solved the whole case on
No.
this, but I'm telling you, you think of the timeline, the media, Congress, the left, even people with R's beside their name were calling Trump an idiot until Mike Zullo went on the radio.
That's right.
With Jerome Corsi.
That's right.
And until Alex Jones and Michael Savage sounded off, and their radio programs together have more listeners than the mainstream media combined on any one show.
That's right.
And the next thing you know, it's in the headlines. Well, Trump is probably right, and we need to have. And now the NSA said they're coming forward with, quote, smoking gun information showing, and I'm reading the headlines of Fox News, potential smoking gun showing Obama administration. That's not
Yeah.
me. That's Fox News. Spied on Trump team, source says. Smoking gun coming from the NSA, Obama administration. Well, Mike Zullo, what did he say on Alex Jones? Here's NSA documents. At least we think they are.
Yeah.
We were told they are.
Somebody show us
by
they're
a
not.
CIA
Right.
whistleblower.
Right.
Somebody please prove us not. Hey, here's my challenge to Congress. Bring Mike Zullo to Washington.
Wow. Yeah.
Bring Sheriff Arpaio to Washington. Bring them before a congressional committee. You're going to talk to Manafort and Roger Stone? Bring Sheriff Arpaio and Mike Zullo, who were the first ones to get their hands on this information. Bring them to Washington, Congress. It should take you a day or two, and you find out if the whole thing's a fake. Ask them about the birth certificate.
Yeah.
That's the foundation to the whole thing.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Bring them, Congress. See, here's the thing. Congress is complicit, brother, because 8 years,
They're all guilty.
8 years, Congress and the media called Zullo and Arpaio tinfoil hats.
Yep.
8 years, the media, Fox News included. Oh, these
yeah.
guys are idiots. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. Now the chickens are coming home to roost, to quote a famous preacher. The chickens are coming home to roost. And I'm saying to Congress, get some good. Listen, I'm going to drop some names here pretty soon, but I've talked to congressmen who have assured me they would talk to Mike Zullo, have yet to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to call their names on this radio program very soon. They have yet to talk to Mike Zullo. They have yet to call him up to Washington and say, oh, my God, show us what you have.
Yeah.
But it's getting ready to all come down, folks. It's getting ready to all come down. And I'm challenging our president, make this go away for Sheriff Arpaio.
That's right.
This trumped-up false junk of a man who was trying to defend his citizens. Now the sheriff that's in there, Paul Penzone, now he calls illegals guests.
Yeah.
You're welcome in our county. We consider you guest. Sheriff Arpaio was trying to enforce federal law, and a judge dragged him into court. Now he's looking at jail time, and I'm saying, President Trump, make that go away. Sheriff Arpaio, Mike Zullo, they are American heroes. They need to be vindicated. And I'm saying to congressmen, and one of them, I'm just about to give his name, you better call Mike Zullo and get him to Washington.
Yeah.
Because now, don't come in at the end of it and say that you were in on it, because I'm going to call you out. I'm going to say your name over the radio. Okay? Now, I'm pretty hot right now, Brandon. You take it over. We're going to go to break, but you comment.
Yeah, no, listen, you've said it brilliantly, and I don't think there's a lot left to say except for, again, thank you to Mike Zullo, to Sheriff Arpaio for having the guts to be the only two lawmen in the entire country that would take this issue on head on.